oh yeah, this movie's got some motherfucking science. The Martian. So The Martian is directed by Ridley Scott. It stars Matt Damon, who plays astronaut Mark Watney. Mark Watney was part of a crew of astronauts who were on Mars. Then a storm rolls in, so they have to cut their visit short. They're evacuating, and upon evacuating, some debris hits Mark Watney and kills him. So the crew has to leave Mars without their fallen comrade. They have to leave him and his body behind. Only thing, Mark Watney's still alive. He didn't die. So now Mark Watney is stranded on Mars, on a planet where nothing is living, nothing is growing. He has to survive long enough for the good people of Earth, the good people who don't even know he's alive, to come rescue him. This is kind of an update on the whole man versus nature thing. It's Man versus Nature on Mars, directed by Ridley Scott, starring Matt Damon. This movie is Castaway meets Apollo 13, and I haven't seen any reviews for this movie because I wanted to go into this movie cold. I read the book, I loved it, and then I just wanted to watch this movie. But as of right now, I can promise you this. There are at least 50 reviews out there that all call this movie Castaway meets Apollo 13, because there is no more perfect way to describe this movie than calling it Castaway meets Apollo 13. First of all, I love the character Mark Watney. I thought Matt Damon played him perfectly. He's this really likable, smart guy who's in this shitty situation where he's like, I'm going to die here. And at a point, he's like, you know, I'm not gonna die here. And then he just gets to work and he starts sciencing this shit out of this situation to survive. Motherfucking science. This is one of those movies right when Mark Watney wakes up. Generally speaking, it's kind of our intro to his character. You're looking at it, you're like, Matt Damon is a really good actor. And he's gonna show it in this movie. Not only that, but Ridley Scott has made Mars cool. He just made it look interesting. Well, I mean, it's a pretty desolate looking place. For all intents and purposes, he's in the middle of a desert for the entire movie. So you need a director to bring life into this desolate wasteland. And Ridley Scott's like, hey, I'll do it. And I kind of seen that in movies lately. A lot of times directors, like, their movies get bigger and bigger and bigger and you're like, something's missing. And then they go back to this really small movie. Oh, you can tell this movie certainly has a budget, but it's a movie about a guy trying to survive. It's very personal, and that's where directors are finding their strength now. But I love the supporting cast also. It goes from Mars and then it goes back to Earth and NASA, and they're just trying to bring this guy back. Chiwetel Ejiofor is one of the best actors working right now. We all knew that. You know why? Because we all saw Serenity. We all knew that. I also love the crew. You see, Mark Watney, you have to see that he has a relationship with the crew that you really never see him interact with. This movie pulled that off very, very well. Probably the hardest part to pull off in this movie, they did it. And this movie is really humorous also, surprisingly so. It could have been this really drab and downer of a movie. It's really easy to make a movie where a guy is fighting the odds and he's trying to stay alive really depressing. The director, the writers, the actor, the character, they all work together to translate this humor to you where you're like, this is not really as depressing as it should be. You see, The Martian's really about life and the fight to survive, the human spirit, people coming together to save another person. That's right, The Martian's like the essence of Mortal Kombat. It's not about death, but life. And in the world we live in today, where we see a lot of shitty things happen on the news, it's good to see a movie, fictional or not, where people come together to just save someone. Just very simply put, it's about human life and the fight to save it. It was a really inspiring movie. But guys, to me, this movie had really everything I really wanted it to have. A great director, great direction, great cinematography, a great character, played by a great actor, great writing, great execution, great suspense, and most importantly, in a situation like this, great motherfucking science. This is one of my favorites of the year. I'm glad it did not disappoint me because The Martian is awesome-tacular. Alright guys, so The Martian, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.